Hello everyone and welcome to today's reading. I hope that all is well. If you are new here, I am the Apocrypha. It is a pleasure to meet you. And if you are returning, welcome back, Soul Family. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see what messages need to come through today. Only clear and concise messages from our spirit guides. Nothing but the truth. Only what we need to hear and not what we want to hear. I heard cleanse. Calling in our dragons as well. Our dragon guides are always welcome. I heard protect. Knight of Cups. I heard protect your loved ones. If that resonates with you, you might want to consider watching one of my previous readings. I think I titled it like check on your loved ones or something. What I'm seeing here, sorry if you can hear this, my AC is fucking loud. I heard it's coming. I feel like some people, how can I say? Some people believe like a rapture is coming, or like there's a lot of changes afoot. A lot of changes that have been happening. Wheel of Fortune. Lots of energies working together to create change in humanity. Four of Pentacles. Preparedness. This message came out like some time ago. I think I titled it Predictions or Prediction. Let's see if we can get some other energies. This is predictive energy. What else? Page of Cups in reverse. People will be blaming other people, blaming each other, not looking in the mirror, not wanting to work on themselves, not fixing anything. And that's how people already are. But a lot is going to come to the surface, and a lot has already come to the surface. I mean, hell, even the US government has been admitting about aliens and shit like that. That's just an example. There's a lot that's going to come to the surface that hasn't yet. And there's going to be a lot of people questioning like what they believed. And there's a lot of people that still choose not to believe even with the evidence in front of them. People want to live in their fantasy, and they don't realize that what was once considered fantasy was actually reality. And what is now our new reality, some people just don't want to admit and just don't want to see it as more than fantasy. I heard a ripple effect, and I'm seeing like twin flames. Something about twin flames, or I don't know if that's your journey. I know that's not everybody's journey. Knight of Wands. I heard the flames are coming. And what I'm seeing that is there may be destruction before there's creation again. But that's not how it should be. But people, instead of realizing and accepting the truth, people will fight to stay ignorant. People are going to fight to stay ignorant. It's something that I'm getting. This message is coming out again. Damn, yo. I don't know. Let's see, the star in reverse. There will be healing. Have faith, have hope. But know that what is to come must come in order for great change to happen. 3 of Cups. I'm seeing cycles. And I'm also seeing differences. Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is it upright. And 5 of Cups in reverse. Excuse me. I heard the waters will rise. The tides will grow. I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but I also heard like nobody is truly safe. Oh. Well, I heard you can run, but you can't hide from the tide. It is very worrisome to get messages like this. And as I mentioned in the last predictive reading that I did, and I don't specifically try to do predictive readings. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I mentioned that these energies are energies that have been coming through, no matter what it is you believe. There are people who say they work on whatever path they work on, whatever religion they have or don't have. Even just seeing on the news and stuff, all the shit that's been going on, like, it's ignorant to deny that shit's going down. I mean, another country is in war right now, as of the release of this video. It is scary. And not only have these energies come out in my readings before, but they've come out in other people's readings too. And even spiritual people who don't always do tarot readings, or maybe they don't at all, and even they have been sharing these messages that have been coming through. There are times when I connect with my guides and they're telling me similar shit. It's undeniable. All we can do is our best. Like, how can a person... Like, there's nothing a person can do if there's a tsunami. But if they know it's coming, all they could do is evacuate. What else could they do? There have been places in the past that have built like some kind of dams, but even that, like, waves are so powerful. Like, the earth is changing, the environment is changing, everything is changing, everything that we know is changing. And people want to still deny it because they want to live in blissful ignorance. It's scary. I saw 1122. It's scary and people don't want to face it. And how can we really... What can we really do? Our best. We can try to prepare. Really, without overstressing or getting depressed about it, like mentally preparing. And even then, like, you can never truly mentally prepare for something that you've never experienced. I remember when I was studying abroad in Japan, I was in Fukuoka. And while I was there, the second semester I was there, because I was there for an academic year, I remember Kumamoto was experiencing really severe earthquakes, that there was a lot of destruction that happened. And if you look on the map, Kumamoto is like more southern of Kyushu, which is that island. And Fukuoka is more like northwest. And we felt really big earthquakes. Like, we felt the residual energy. I forgot what it's called. The earthquakes that were going on there that were devastating. There were even shrines and temples that crumbled. And we could feel it all the way in Fukuoka. My family is from Puerto Rico. And what was it? Hurricane Maria? During all that stuff that happened, like, I have family that lost their homes. And I met this lady at one of my jobs, and I recognized her accent. So I was like, oh, I love your accent. Like, it reminds me of my family from Puerto Rico. And she's like, oh, I'm Puerto Rican too. And we were talking about some of the stuff that happened, and she made it seem like nothing. I saw 1414, like, oh, it happens. You get used to it. But do you really? Like, yes, but no. And the scary thing is that people that are used to it, if they're told to evacuate, they're gonna be like, oh, it's nothing. Like, we haven't been through it before. Things are changing. If you're told to evacuate, get your shit and get the fuck out, is what I'm getting. take it fucking seriously. For your own safety and for the people that you love. And for your animals too. I'm seeing fire again, and I'm getting like forest fire, like wildfire. And I saw this again. And I heard dragons are angry with people's shit. I heard, I know this might sound crazy to some people, believe it or not, I don't give a fuck. But I'm just here to say what I feel needs to be said and what I hear. And I heard the gods are displeased. Take that as you may. Take it or leave it. I don't care. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. But the light will shine a new day, is what I'm getting here. Despite the chaos and despite things that may happen, despite destruction, if that's something that's gonna happen, there will always be a new day. I heard new earth. Oof. Oh my god. Damn. I heard like 3D, 4D, 5D. I know people have mentioned about that, about the shifts and stuff. Listen. If a natural disaster hits, a natural disaster isn't gonna give a fuck whether you're poor or you're rich. It's not gonna give a fuck what you look like, whether you're the most beautiful person or whether you consider yourself not beautiful. The weather is not gonna give a fuck whether you're a doctor, a teacher, a dishwasher person, a cook, a nurse, a firefighter, a sales associate, a daycare person. Like, there is no discrimination with these things. Natural disasters. Don't think just because you're a good person that you are really safe, is what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at. Like, protect yourself. Be careful. Protect your loved ones. If all hell breaks loose, if a bomb were to hit, I mean, it's not going to avoid one person. The blast radius is a radius, and it will affect anything in its path and anyone in its way. It doesn't matter how much of a good person or how much of a bad person you are. Nine of Swords in reverse. I saw 1919 and 1101. Synchronicities. Pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities. It's understandable that during this time, especially with things that are going to be happening more and more, it's scary. It's hard not to become depressed and anxious and fearful and selfish. But there's this need to to breathe. There's this need to survive. Despite the war, fight the fight. I mean, in the end, it's up to you to give up or not. But things are already happening. Things have been happening way before this. Years ago. It's been happening. I'm seeing war. And it's sad. It's sad that people are so goddamn fucking ignorant and stupid and selfish that they'll cause wars with other countries, for example, just because they want their fucking land. Just because they want something that they already probably fucking have. It is so fucking pathetic and sad how humans can be. But we need to remain in love and compassion and fight the bullshit. Fight the tyranny. Fight the dictatorships. Fight the machine. And it's crazy. It's crazy because when I was connecting the other day, that's something that I was getting. And I was telling my partner, like, you know, shit's gonna happen. These are messages that I've been getting. I've been getting from my guides. I saw 2212, like, protect yourself, like, prepare. But it's like, how the fuck do I prepare? What do I do? Where do I go? Like, do what you can. Don't stress, but don't stop either. People that are most likely to survive the worst situations know how to survive. I have a survival guide in my car, in the trunk, always. And I need to stock up. I need to work on my bug out bag again. I started one and I never finished. When you have to up and leave, what is the most important thing to you? Stuff is just stuff. And trust me, when you're faced with a survival situation, if you're more concerned with your stuff than your life, you probably will not survive. You have the power. You have power. Don't underestimate yourself. But it's time to let the warrior out. You're going to have to defend yourself and your loved ones. Will you be able to do that? If someone tries to take your rights from you, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Are you going to bow down and let it happen? Or are you going to stand up and fucking fight? What are you going to do? It's like about preparedness. I'm seeing preparedness. Like, I experienced at one of my jobs, that there was, how can I say? I used to work at the mall, and I was there during a shooting. And as a key holder, we are taught, whoever's inside, lock the gate, get everyone in the back, turn off the music, turn off the lights, everyone quiet, everyone away from the doors. Let upper management know what's going on. Stay quiet, stay low, but be paying attention. And I remember that day very vividly. Now, what happened, I didn't experience the worst of it, and I'm okay. But it's surreal regardless. I remember that day, my coworker and I were at the register, and we have view of the gate. And I remember we just saw like a group of teenagers or young adults running. And we kind of looked at each other like, what the fuck? Like, please. But then, all of a sudden, people of all ages were running. Old people, young people, families. Just everyone and anyone that was out there was running. And so, again, we're told to close the store and do the safety procedures that we have to do. We're trained to do these things. We have to know how to handle the situation. We have to have a calm head on our shoulders in order to guide people during the chaos. And at my current job right now that I'm working, I'm going through some modules of safety procedures, and if there's a fire, if there's a child abduction, if there's a shooter or a robbery, we are trained to do these things so that way when the situation arises, we know what to do. It's kind of like going into autopilot instead of fear and panic. And you really have to be prepared and have a plan in order to execute it. And even in the moment of panic, you have to breathe. You have to breathe through it. It wasn't until we had already turned off the lights, I see 1110. It's 111. Everyone was already in the back room. We had already locked up, turned off the lights, everything. And while we were sitting there, maybe a couple minutes after, we heard the gunshots. You never fucking know. It could be years that you work at a place and you're safe as fuck and nothing crazy happens. And one day, like that, you never fucking know. But what you can do is prepare. At least try to figure out, are you the kind of person that's a fight or flight? Or do you freeze up like a deer in the headlights? What are you gonna do? What kind of person are you, and how can you train yourself? Learn CPR. Learn how to, I see 1111. Learn how to do a tourniquet. If someone breaks a bone and there's an emergency, okay, what do you have? You have a belt, you have shoestrings, you have random things, you have ligas, things for the hair, you have necklaces, you have whatever it is that you need to survive. Learn techniques of survival. Emergency response. Whatever it is that you can learn. And I don't mean to scare people, but this is a message that's coming through. And I mean, looking at the news, I'm not one to like really pay attention to the news, and I really have to. But I mean, like, y'all, this is the shit that's coming through. The Hierophant. The Hierophant. All the animals looking up at this phoenix dragon. Animals know when something is wrong. Whether it's a ghost in a house and the animal's looking and the person's like, what are you looking at? What are you doing? Get away from there. And the dog is like, or the cat, like, scared. The animal knows. When there's an earthquake or there's a fire or there's something going on, there's a shift in the energy, there's a shift in the air, and animals start running. If you see a bunch of animals just running away, you might want to run in the same direction that they're going. You know what I'm saying? Animals have a deep sense. They are so connected with nature because they are nature. And humans have desensitized themselves so much from nature that it's hard for us to connect with those senses. But we all have it. Pay attention. Pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities. Pay attention to your intuition. If you feel like you need to up and leave, then maybe you need to up and leave. The Hierophant. Listen. Listen to yourself. Listen to your intuition. Don't be afraid, because in a state of emergency, panic is one of the worst things that anybody can do. You have to remain calm in the face of fear, in the face of whatever chaos is going on. It's terrifying, but it's necessary. And apparently we're coming to the time where that's gonna be more necessary. All right. I love you guys. I'm sorry that's what came through, but I don't know, the more those kind of messages come through, like, it is scary. But if that's what it is, then then that's what it is. So we can hope and pray, and it's important for us to do so, to connect with our guides and ourselves, but we have to do. You can't just expect to be safe just because you're a devotee of whoever, or just because you pray to God. No one is safe. 33:22. Again, a natural disaster isn't gonna give a fuck who you are or what good you've done to humanity. Like, hopefully your guides will protect you in the moment. But like, you're still gonna experience it. It's not like a magical bubble of protection. It's just gonna keep you from drowning. If a tsunami happened, like, you're still gonna get swooshed around and hit stuff, and like, that reminds me of this movie. I'll try to remember the name, but it's based on a true story about a family that visited, I don't remember, the Philippines maybe, and that they experienced a flood, a really bad flood. So yeah, and it was about the family trying to get back together and find each other. And I think she was a doctor, maybe, I don't remember, but I digress. Be safe, be careful, be aware, be calm. I love you guys. take care of yourself and your loved ones. And we can only do the best that we can do. All right? Don't panic. It's not going to help you or anybody else. But yeah, love you guys. Take care. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Hopefully that'll be something completely different. But yeah, bye.